What's up guys, Matt and Blake from the Football Boots team, and for the last few days you guys have been smashing Instagram, smashing Facebook to vote for your favourite boot of this season just past. 2016-17, you guys have had all the power to pick the best boot. Now we've got 5 finalists which you guys have been voting for. There's been a couple of upsets on the way, some big boots haven't made it, but let's get into our 5 finalists, and at the end of the video you guys get to vote for the best boot. We've got no say, you've got all the power. Let's get right into the video. Let's get straight into Group 1, and there were 5 very solid nominees, and the first one was the Nike Hyper Phantom 3DF. An absolute smash of a boot, very high performing, great tech, and also very popular on the world stage. Scored a load of goals. It has a little bit of a collar which I'm not that much of a fan of. What did you think about it?
I think it's definitely one of the highest performing football boots on the market. It's very, very high performing in terms of responsiveness, touch and control. Very, very good football boot. So the next boot in this group was the Vizaro Pro 2.0 from New Balance. Now this is a pretty bad upgrade from the original generation. Matty, what do you think of this?
Do you know what? I think you just pretty much summed it up. Pretty bad upgrade from the first one. The first generation was actually really good. Second time around, massively bulky, and the synthetic is actually quite poor. Ramsey himself, the headline wearer, actually wears his own customised version. That's how bad it is, so he didn't really have the best shot in this group. But the third boot that we're going to be looking at is the X16.1. Not my favourite boot out there. I think it's a little bit cheap, especially for an elite level boot. Synthetic upper.
Yes, we did see a slight upgrade in the upper of the X17.1, and the next boot in this list is probably one of the most popular boots on the market. It's the Glitch, because it's just so hard to get. It's that inner shoe and that outer shoe. Matty, what do you think of this one?
Do you know what? Talking about football boots and cool football boots, I think this is the most unique the boot market has probably ever seen. Those old school tunics, we could customise them, take it to an all new level this time around. I think they are very cool. So definitely in with a shot of winning this group because of how sick they really are. But the last boot to wrap this group up is the Evo Speed SLS. I actually think this is actually pretty good. The SL version, no good at all. Durability issues massively. But this version is actually pretty good and worn by some great forward players as well. What did you think?
So yes, it's one of the lightest boots on the market. It's around 130 to 140 grams. So that's pretty insane in terms of football boots. I really think this is a very underrated football boot. Who won this group, Matty?
Do you know what? It was a tight group, but it wasn't the Glitch. There was definitely a big chance for that boot to win it, but it was the Hyper Phantom 3DF. It is so popular. So many of you guys love it. So that is our first finalist. So let's move on to Group 2. Absolute group of death this time around, and the first nominee is almost there to make up the numbers, and that's the Medusa Pro by Umbro. Do you know what? It's not actually the worst boot out there, but the other models that you're going to see in this group in a second are much stronger. What did you think about it?
I actually think it's Umbro's best football boot on the market right now. It's almost a combination of the Velocita and the Speciale in one. So it's got that K-leather vent on the front and that Velocita sole plate. So very sleek, lightweight football boot, much like the Neo. And the next boot is probably the best boot on the market in terms of popularity. It's the Superfly 5. What do you think, Matty?
Do you know what? This boot is a smash. Very popular with you guys, very popular with us, and also looking at the big pros out there. Cristiano Ronaldo, he is playing so well this season. He wears those boots. Maybe slightly alternative model to the ones on the boot market, but I think these are absolutely class. If you want something responsive, lockdown, high performing, these are the boots for you, and definitely a boot which could win this entire competition. And our next boot couldn't be further away from the Superfly 5, and that's the Puma Evo Touch Pro. No synthetic, just that very soft K-leather upper with that Evo knit collar. If you want leather football boots, a very soft one, this is a great option for you. What did you think about the Touch?
I mean, I love the Evo knit collar on this boot. I think this collar on this football boot is probably the best collar on the market. It's got that elasticated fit. The K-leather upper is very, very high quality. Pretty good sole plate as well. A very underrated football boot. But the next one we'll talk about is the Messi 16 Plus Pure Agility. Now this is the boot Messi doesn't wear himself. It has that pure cut cover, original agility knit upper. So Matty, what do you think?
Do you know what? My favourite feature about the Pure Agilities has to be the agility knit upper. Very thin, soft, flexible, and also that nice bit of grip that I always look for in a football boot. So do you know what? Definitely up with a chance for winning this group. But the last boot in the group, massively underrated, come on leaps and bounds in the last couple of months, and that is the Nike Magista Opus 2, and I know you're a fan of this.
Now I think this is probably one of the most comfortable synthetic football boots on the market. It's not a knitted football boot, it's just a standard Kangalite synthetic. It's a very, very comfortable football boot. It's going to suit my wide feet perfectly. But what did win this group, Matty?
Guys, as you can expect, it was the Superfly 5. Amazing boot. So many players wear it. So many of you guys wear it. Very high performing. So that is the finalist from Group 2. So let's move on to Group 3. First boot from our third group is another very cool product by Adidas. It's not the Glitch, it's the Pure Control. Now, I might not be the biggest fan of this boot because of performance aspects, but do you know what? I love the concept, no laces, and also it looks very clean. What are your thoughts on it?
So as I said before, every kid on the block wants a laceless football boot, especially the Pure Control, as well as the Nemesis. But the Pure Control was the original laceless design from Adidas. No laces, it's not the most responsive, but every kid on the block wants it. But the next boot on this list is the Velocita Pro 3, so a complete opposite to the Pure Control. It's a lightweight speed football boot from Umbro. Maddie, what do you think of this one?
Do you know what? I think it's a bit of a shame because I don't mind this boot. It's definitely underrated, not the highest quality, but it's going to get swallowed up by the Pure Control and the other nominees, so there's pretty much no chance of this boot winning it. But a boot which does have a chance is the Messi 16.1, and the reason it's got a chance is firstly, it is worn by Lionel Messi, or was worn last season because he's just got his new Nemesis, and also I think that upper, just like on the Pure Agilities, is very high quality as well.
So the next boot in the group is the New Balance Furon Pro 2.0. Now this is definitely a better upgrade from the original Furon Pro, but is it a very good football boot? Not in my eyes. It's very similar to something like the Velocita Pro already in this group, but what do you think of this one, Manny?
Do you know what? Bit of a shame for New Balance. The Vasaro 2.0 had absolutely no chance. And do you know what? The Furon 2.0, not the biggest chance as well, and you'll probably see that coming very shortly. I didn't really like it that much, but the last boot in this group has a massive chance because it is so popular, so high quality, maybe a little bit of problem with the durability issues, but that is the Nike Tiempo Legend 6, and that upper, such a fan of this, comfortable and also very high tech with the exoskeleton. But Blake, which boot won this group?
So it was a close run with the Tiempo Legend 6 and the Adidas Messi 16.1 for second and third spot. The first spot was of course the Ace 17 Plus Pure Control laceless boot. That's off to the final.
We get into Group 4, and again, a very tight affair, and the first nominee is the Adidas Copper 17.1. Do you know what? Not the worst boot out there, the leather is pretty quality, but the one big letdown for me has to be that pretty ugly tongue. I'll say it, I don't like it, I'm not a fan. What are your thoughts?
I think this is probably one of the most affordable boots on the market right now. It's got a very high quality K-leather upper, similar to the Gloro and similar to the Nike Premier. But what is the next one? The next one is the Nike Phantom 3 low cut. So I know you're a big fan of this. What do you think of this, Manny?
Do you know what? For me, this is the best boot on the market. Even if it doesn't make the finals, even if it doesn't win the whole competition, for me, I think this is the best boot. The Phantom 3DF already made it through, but for me, this is just a better boot. It's got all the things you want from the Phantom 3, but without the colour, which is my own personal preference. So a great boot. But the next one is another Nike boot, and it is the Magista Obra 2. Very different to the Phantom 3 low. This time it's got a colour, and also the upper is a little bit thicker, Flyknit material. What are your thoughts?
So as Manny said, the Obra 2 is very tech heavy. You've got the dynamic fit collar with that Flyknit plush upper, pour-on pods inside just to add a bit of friction on top of the ball with Brio cables and nylon chassis. A very tech heavy football boot. The next one is the X16 Plus Pure Chaos from Adidas. What do you think?
Do you know what? Great football boot, and I actually prefer the 16 Plus Pure Chaos to the recently released 17 Plus Pure Speed. I just think it's better. I prefer that original upper. This time around on the 17 Plus, not too much of a fan, but let's talk about the Pure Chaos. Great football boot, so many great moments happened in it in the season just gone, so I think this is absolutely class.
Now the next boot in this group is the Umbro UX Acura. Now this boot has a lot of ground to make up. It's not the greatest synthetic football boot on the market. The upper is very stiff. Maddie, what do you think of this one?
Do you know what? Let's be serious. It's got no chance really against the Pure Chaos, the Obra 2 and the Phantom 3 low. The upper for me is just a little bit too stiff and just not popular enough. But the last boot to wrap it all up is the Adidas X 16.1 leather. Do you know what? The better boot in the X range compared to the synthetic, hands down. What do you think about it?
I think it's one of the most underrated football boots on the market. It's got that plush K-leather on the forefoot there. That back portion of the synthetic, again, it's not the highest quality with that sprint frame sole plate, but overall, it just gets the job done.
But it was the boot of choice for Angel Di Maria, the Pure Chaos that came out on top, which makes the finalists. So let's move on to our fifth and final group. Now we are finishing so ultra strong. This is literally a group of death, and pretty much every single pair of boots in this group could have literally won the entire competition. But the first one, the first nominee, the first boot is the Ace 17.1 Primate, which is one of my favourite Adidas models. Are you a fan of it?
This has laces, so all of a sudden it is better than the Pure Control because you can lock down your foot into the shoe, making it much more higher performing than that one. I'm definitely a big fan of this, but the next boot is probably your favourite boot on the market in terms of quality is the Mizuno Maria Neo 2, made in Japan. Maddie?
Do you know what? When we're talking about lightweight leather, it doesn't get any better than the Neo 2. Trust me, and if you're lucky enough or have enough money to get the Made in Japan version, that is a pair of boots that are going to perform so well and for such a long time. The quality is unbelievable. So do you know what? This should have won in my opinion. I'm joking. It's not popular enough. But the third boot to look at is the Under Armour Clutch Fit 3.0. Just like the Neo 2.0, this is again very underrated. I actually like this. I tested it. Great fan. What about you?
So that word underrated, it would sum up this boot completely. From the 2.0 to the 3.0, massive improvements with that grippy upper on the synthetic there. Overall, a very good football boot. Now the next boot is a very underrated football boot. Again, the Ace 17.1 leather, Matty.
Do you know what? Great underrated boot. Some of my favourite players wear this. Moussa Dembele, one of the biggest stars in the Premier League last season. Dribbling 10 out of 10, passing 10 out of 10, ghosting past players 10 out of 10. This is a great boot, and trust me, if you don't have the most amount of money out there, give this boot a go. It's seriously quality. And another boot very similar to that is the Puma Evo Power Vigor, and I know Blake is a huge fan of this. He even has a pair himself.
So this is a massive improvement from the Evo Power 1.3. Different upper on this one. It's a much more mesh-based design with that no-tongue system. Massive fan of it because it's going to suit my weight feet perfectly. Very good football boot. And arguably Puma's best football boot right now. Now the next one is a very popular football boot, is the Vapor 11. Matty, what do you think?
Do you know what? This list couldn't have been complete without the Nike Mercurial Vapor 11. I know for so many amateurs, pros, boot enthusiasts, this is actually the best boot on the market. So many of you absolutely adore it. I like it as well. For me, it's all about that contour sole plate and stud configuration. Amazing. But which boot came out on top? Blake announced it.
The Ace 17.1 Prime. It beat the Vapor, it beat the Vigor, it also beat the Neo and the Clutch Fit. So the Ace Prime is off to the final.
So there it is, guys. There's our 5 finalists voted by you. We've got the Phantom with 3DF, we've got the Superfly 5, we've got the Pure Control, we've got the Pure Chaos, and the Ace 17.1 Primate. You guys voted, you have the power, and you still do, because vote in the poll card now for the boot that you think deserves to be crowned as the best boot of the 2016-17 season. But do you know what? Although we haven't had a chance to vote, what boot would you pick?
So 5 really high-performing football boots. They're also very popular, but the one I'm going for is the Superfly 5. If the Vapor was there, I may have gone for that, but the Superfly 5 is very high-performing.
That is our opinions, but now it is down to you guys. Get voting. If you are watching this video straight away, then do please come back in a week's time and see whereabouts the poll card actually says is the best boot on the market. But guys, that is today's video all wrapped up. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching as always.
We'll see you next time.